Super Rugby semi-finals are happening tomorrow. Now, from a South African angle, we still have a shot. The Sharks are facing the Crusaders for one of those two coveted spots in the finals. Joining me in studio is Sport24 editor Garen and chief writer Rob, and they're going to take us through their predictions. Hello, guys.
Hi, Jen.
So you two have predictions. I heard before the show that they're the same.
Right, so
Garen, why don't you take us through the first game that's happening tomorrow?
Right, so we've got the Sharks flying the South African flag in Christchurch against the 7-time champion Crusaders. Certainly won't be an easy match for Jake White's Sharks team. And they've made a couple of changes to that starting 15. I think the most important one would be Patrick Lambie back at fly half, which means Frans Steen's moved to centre, JP Peterson's moved to the wing. So they've made a few backline shifts, if you like. So I think it probably strengthens the team a little bit. It'll be good to have Lambie back. Although, having said that, he hasn't played a lot of rugby yet. I don't expect him to even play the whole 80 minutes. I think, hopefully he gets the Sharks off to a flying start, which I think they're going to need up against a vocal Crusaders spectator base, if you like. So he's going to be key to the outcome, I think, of this game. A lot is going to depend on how he plays after this long break. But he is a Springbok player. I expect him to do well. I'm sure he's been training hard this week with the team. So, I think that won't be the problem for the Sharks. I think it's going to be more a case of the travel factor, the fact that they're playing away from home, the fact that we've had so many home team victories in these close matches. So I think the Sharks are going to fall short, but they're going to put up a good showing. They're going to draw inspiration from the fact that during the group phase of this tournament, they actually beat the Crusaders in Christchurch with 14 men for 63 minutes of that game after Jean Duisel was shown a red card. So they're going to draw inspiration from that. I think the Crusaders, from their part, are going to have learned from that match, do things a little bit differently, and they've certainly played better since that match. So, it's the experience of the Crusaders. They've got tons and tons of All Blacks in their starting 15. I think it will be a little bit too much for the Sharks, but hats off to the Sharks. They've had a fantastic campaign. They've certainly been the best South African team by some distance this tournament. So I see them going down by 6 points.
All right, so we might be saying goodbye to the Sharks this weekend. Rob, I know you agree with Garen on the outcome. Do you have any other comments or reasons why you think that the Sharks might fall short this weekend?
Jen, first of all, although I'm going the wise route, I think that most people, I think even a lot of Sharks fans, will be secretly thinking this is going to be a tough date. We've beaten the Crusaders away already this season. Maybe, Garen, it would have been better if the upset was to come in this game. Obviously, the Sharks have perhaps had their upset in Christchurch. Crusaders will be a lot wiser, a lot more prepared now for what they'll expect from the Sharks, and I think they know what to expect because the Sharks will play in a particular way. We all know that they'll probably play a reasonably conservative game plan unless there's an absolute shock on Jake White's strategy sheet, which I don't really expect. Make no mistake, the Sharks have got a chance. I mean, there's enough quality in that side on paper for you to think, this team, if they really, really all play well collectively, yes, they do have a chance of upsetting the Crusaders. I think the key will be the first half. I think, and perhaps, early into the second, if the Sharks are right in the game, the longer it goes on, the more they'll start to think that they can actually produce something. I think that if the Crusaders get on the board very early, the travel factor might come in, and that just mentally the Sharks might think, oh, we're really up against it here. It's going to be difficult to get back into the game. And then the Crusaders, hate to say it, could actually almost run away with it. I don't think it's going to be a huge scoreline. But final analysis, I think the Sharks will hang in there for a long time, and I do give them a little bit of a shot, perhaps a sort of a 35% chance of winning the game. But when all is said and done, I reckon perhaps Crusaders by about 9 points.